Hi guys, welcome back. So as you guys can see from the title of this video, Ask and You Shall Receive, I never thought that anyone would actually notice my bag in the background. She's usually sitting right up there at that shelf behind my YSL clutch. But so many of you guys took notice to it, and then when I asked if you guys wanted to see me do like a video dedicated to this handbag, I saw so many of you guys say yes, and I'm like, well, if they want to see it, I want to talk about it. So and then just my official disclaimer for this video, which I think it's even ridiculous that any of us have to do this, but no, I'm not trying to show off, I'm not trying to be pretentious, I'm not trying to do anything. I just like to talk about what, you know, the things that I like, and I got a lot of you guys asking me to talk about it, so I'm literally here just to talk about it with you guys. So I got a lot of you guys asking me if I could do a video dedicated to my Chanel bag, and I was like, let's do it, because I love this bag so much. So I mean, this isn't a video, you know, totally reviewing it or anything. Like, I mean, I don't want to say I'm an expert, but I have been looking at these bags for a really long time, and I've done my research, and I've gone in numerous times to the boutique so I can look at it, try it on. I've tried on the different sizes just so I can see exactly what fits well on me and what's more practical to me. So I'm gonna give you guys like a little rundown, I guess. It's not gonna be like a full out review. I'm not gonna teach you guys how to authenticate anything because I mean, I don't want any of you guys getting screwed over if you guys used my advice and bought it secondhand and it turned out to be fake. So, because I know nowadays there's a lot of people who are making replicas, and the replicas are super fakes. Like, they're starting to look real good and real convincing. But I always encourage all of you guys to just save up the money and purchase a bag whenever you're ready, because I mean, these bags are not going anywhere. So I mean, there's no reason for any of you guys to, you know, hurry up and just, you know, squeeze it in or just buy a replica. Like, it's just not worth it. And it just feels that much better, and it feels so good that you were able to save your money and get exactly what you want. So today I'm going to be talking about my Chanel Classic Flap Jumbo Size Caviar Leather Silver Hardware. So just a little backstory behind this bag. I have been lusting after this bag for a very, very long time, and it took me, I think, about a year and a half to save up the money. I fell in love with it probably, I think, second year of college. And ever since then, like, you know, I was like, I know it's kind of an expensive bag, but I was just like, I always thought it was gonna be something that I got like much later in life when I started making like a substantial amount of income and I could just, you know, buy whenever I want. But my lust for this bag got stronger and stronger, and I love this bag. It is my favorite bag of all time, and I really would like to add, you know, to my collection of handbags. I want to expand my Chanel collection, but this was my first handbag purchase from Chanel. So like I said, I've been lusting after her for a really long time. I've been wanting them, and you know, during midterm season or final season, when I was feeling a little down, I would literally drive to Rodeo, or I would go to Robertson, and I would take a look at these bags, and I would spend so much time in there just, you know, looking at these bags. And so by the time I got around to saving money for it, I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew what size I wanted, I knew what leather I wanted, I know what hardware I wanted. I just knew everything there was to know about the bag, basically. So if I remember correctly, this bag comes in quite a few sizes. If I remember, it comes in a mini, a small, a medium, a jumbo, which is this one, and a maxi. So I was kind of debating between the medium, the jumbo, and the maxi. When I first saw the maxi, I was like, okay, no, this is entirely too large. It's just too much for me. And then I looked at the medium, which tends to be the one that everybody goes for because it's like it tends to be the go-to size. But that one against my body just felt a little too small for me. And I wanted something that I could carry like almost, not as an everyday bag, but I can carry it from day to night, and I could dress it up and dress it down. And this size turned out to be the most perfect size for me. The medium is a little tight, like you can't really fit much in there. So on a day-to-day basis, like in my handbag, I like to be able to carry my wallet. I want to be able to carry my keys. A coin pouch, and a water bottle and my cell phone. So 5 items. I wanted that bag. I wanted my bag to be able to carry at least those items with me. And I always carry a water bottle with me because literally a bitch is always thirsty. So I figured the jumbo was going to be the perfect size for me, and it did turn out to be the perfect size because I could wear it day to day, and it does indeed fit my wallet, my keys, my coin pouch, water bottle, and my phone. And then, so I got the size right. And then it came down to me wondering what kind of leather I want. So the typical leather that, you know, people tend to go for is lambskin because it's a very luxurious leather. It's so supple. It feels so amazing. It's super buttery, and it's just a very luxe looking leather. So that tends to be the one that people go for. However, that handbag, like that leather, is so delicate, so sensitive, and I just knew that I wouldn't be able to wear that bag as often as I wanted, and I wouldn't be able to wear it as, you know, as much as I want and the way I want it to. Like, I would have to be so careful with that bag. Like, I would have to baby it. Not to say that I'm not careful with this bag, but this bag I don't have to baby as much. So with this bag, like, even if it bumps into something, or if someone kind of like glides against it, or if my keys accidentally like scrape the leather, I would be fine. Like, you know, there's this leather is a lot more durable. I ended up getting in caviar leather just because it made more sense to me. Like, I do take care of my bags. I take care of all my bags. Like, this bag has never been on the floor. I've never dropped it. It's never gotten stuck anywhere, and I don't expect it to be on the floor or get stuck anywhere. But with the lambskin, it can literally get scratched with like a fingernail, and I didn't want to, you know, constantly have an anxiety attack every time I wear the bag. I didn't want to have to worry about whether or not my bag was going to be okay. With this one, I knew it was going to be okay. And with the lambskin, I would be scared to overstuff it. This one, I'm not as afraid to overstuff it. I don't really, you know, I'm not fitting novels and bricks in there, but like, I'm okay if it stretches out a little bit because I know the bounce back game is strong for this one. Overall, this one, it's a more robust material where, I wouldn't be afraid to wear it around. With the lambskin, I would be afraid to just breathe on it because I'm afraid it would fall apart. It's just a delicate leather. So that one, it wasn't practical enough for me and my lifestyle. In the future, am I gonna get something lambskin? I'm sure I will. But for my first purchase, and for this particular bag, I wanted something very practical when it comes to leather, and the caviar leather is just more robust, and like, it's a grainy leather. It feels nicely, and you know, I'm not afraid of my keys. If I put it in wrong, I'm not afraid of it scratching it. So that's why I went for the caviar. And then hardware. I was actually debating a very, very, very long time whether I wanted silver or whether I wanted gold. So at first I was like, I wanted gold because, you know, gold holds its value so much longer. It's like the classic hardware to have. Like, you know, the black leather with the gold, like, it just looks so chic. But then I thought about it, and then I talked to my friends about it, and everybody's like, okay, but you don't wear gold. You don't like gold. Like, you don't wear gold on your skin. None of your accessories are gold. All of your hardware and all your purses, they tend to be silver. And I was like, okay, but like, you know, gold holds its value so much longer. And they brought to my attention, they're like, well, are you ever gonna sell this bag? And I was like, no, I'm never gonna sell this bag. So, I mean, there's no reason for me to get something gold just because it retains its value better if I'm never gonna sell it. So this bag, I don't ever intend to sell. So, I mean, I just got it in the hardware that I wanted and the hardware that I preferred, which is silver. So that's the reason why I decided on this size, this leather, this hardware. So this one is indeed the jumbo, and it comes with the typical CCs, and I just keep the dust bag in here. It comes with like a little cloth for me to polish it whenever I need to, but I have that put away. So it comes with the dust bag, and the current dust bag looks like this, just cross-hatching with Chanel. And I have Mademoiselle Gabrielle right on here. And I just have her put, you know, inside the purse so I don't lose it. And I mean, the practical thing to do would be to, you know, put the purse inside the dust bag, but I love having her on display, and I just really love looking at her. So, I mean, I don't it doesn't look as cute if I put it in the dust bag and put it on top of my shelf, so that's why I have it. So this one is the double flap. Initially I wanted the single flap because the single flap used to have the hardware gilded in 24 karat gold. It wasn't made of 24 karat gold, but it was gilded in it, and the CCs were flatter. So as you guys can see, the CCs on this one it's like a little more bubbled up, it's thinner, and it's not gilded or anything. And the ones that were gilded in gold, they tended to have like kind of like a maker's mark on it, like just like, you know, some hashes on the CCs, and that just kind of indicates the country of origin that this bag was made. But I mean, I initially wanted it in the single flap, but I realized that and I, you know, read up on a lot of reviews of it, and a lot of people said that the single flap doesn't hold its shape as well. So this one, yes, it is a double flap. It makes the bag a little heavier, but it's definitely holding its shape a lot better. It's not collapsing in on itself. Granted, it's still a pretty new bag, so it shouldn't be collapsing in general. But I mean, I don't really mind the double flap, and I don't really mind the weight of the bag. People say that this bag is really heavy, but just the way that the structure and the engineering of the bag is, it's very comfortable to wear. So the weight actually doesn't bother me whether I'm wearing it single strap or double strap. It doesn't really bother me. It sits on my shoulder very comfortably, and the way that it sits on my body, the weight is distributed very well, so the weight doesn't bother me. The only thing that bothers me is, you guys can hear it like right now, it's this sound. So because it is caviar leather, it is interlaced through the chains. And because of that, it's a very noisy chain every time I move it, every time I use it. Like, it's just kind of noisy. But I don't hate it. I don't hate that it's noisy, but like, if there was one thing that I could fix about it, it would be the amount of sounds that the chain makes. So I tend to wear it actually with one chain. So I would actually wear it either as a shoulder bag or a crossbody. I tend to wear a crossbody just because that's where it hits my hip correctly. I stand at 5'4", and you know, at 5'4", this bag, if I use it as a shoulder bag, it sits a little too low for me. Like, it's a little too low for comfort. It doesn't really sit at my hip. It sits kind of like at my thigh, which I don't like. So that's why I wear a crossbody, and it sits right at my hip, right where I like it, and that way I can kind of adjust it where it's close to my body. But if I really do want to wear it as a shoulder bag, I'll actually double up the chain, because like, it's not too short where it is up to my armpit. It just sits at a very good length for me, and that's why if I'm gonna wear it as a shoulder bag, I'll wear a double chain, and if I'm gonna do one chain, I always do crossbody. And this might be a little weird for some people, but like, there's only, I mean, you could either have one chain tucked behind or one chain tucked in front, and I always have my chain, I always pull the rear chain, because my bag just sits better when this front chain is tucked in. Like, I'll extend the back chain just because I feel like my bag is closer to my body and it's more flattering this way. Because when I extend this chain, like, I don't know, it feels like this bag is tipping. So I mean, just, you know, minute details about how I like to wear my bag and the chains. But yeah, so the back of the bag, as you guys have seen many, many times, looks like this. And this is where I tend to keep my phone. I used to not want to keep my phone back there because the slot was so tight and I didn't want to distort the shape of the bag. But, you know, as time went on, I got my phone to comfortably fit, like, sit in here without, you know, really distorting the bag. As you can see, it's not really, you know, it doesn't really distort the shape or anything. And then let me just go ahead and open this bag for you guys. So turn lock, you open it, you see the first flap. And this flap, the story behind it, as most of you guys know, it's kind of like a novelty. It's not really necessary to have a zipper here, but it was said that Mademoiselle Gabrielle used to keep her love letters in here. There's not much room for it. There's not much room for anything in here. You could put maybe like your secret money in here, or maybe, I don't know, not really much goes in here. I personally don't use it because I look at it just as novelty. And then the other slot is the slot behind this one. So, you know, behind the back of it and the flap, there is one more slot. And that one I don't use either. Maybe I'd put something like, you know, if I had secret money, I'd put it in there. But other than that, I don't really put anything in here. Anything that I have goes into the main compartment that's right here. So all I have in here right now is actually like a pen and like my lipstick. There are 2 slots on either side where you can put like cards or anything in there, and then there's a designated slot right there for your favorite lipstick. And you know, technically it's supposed to be your favorite red lipstick, but I don't really wear reds. So I just have a lipstick in there. And then this actually, it's very roomy. It does fit my water bottle, my wallet, and it's a big Continental wallet that I have. So it fits my wallet, my keys, a coin pouch because I keep my coins separate, and then a water bottle. So it's enough for me to carry just what I need on a daily basis. And then you have another flap right here, or another slot, I mean, right here. And again, I don't put anything in there, just I mainly use this big compartment. But other than that, I really don't use, you know, the other slots that are offered. And yes, there is a button here, so you can definitely clamp this down and button it. However, I don't, just because it's a little cumbersome and it's not really easy. Like, that's the one thing I don't like. Like, yeah, cool, it has a button, but it's not exactly easy to button this up to its slot. Like, and it requires a lot more effort than you would imagine. So I just leave it unbuttoned, and I just close my flap up, and I, you know, turn the toggle, and there. And that's how I carry it. So overall, is it a good bag? I definitely encourage everybody to get their hands on some kind of Chanel classic bag, because it's a beautiful piece to have. This one, like, you can dress it up with just like a white t-shirt, some jeans, you know, and like a very simple outfit with some heels or some sandals or even some chucks, and this outfit will just elevate it to next level. Or if you want to carry it out for dinner in like a nice little dress with, you know, some cute shoes, that would work too. So this bag is so versatile, and that's why I wanted to get this bag, because you can dress it up, you can dress it down, it's very flexible. So I wanted this bag. I had wanted it for a really long time, and I had been making calls. Like I said, I saved up for like a year for it, and I was making phone calls to see where they had these bags, because I know that Chanel has actually decreased the number of bags that they make per year, especially in like the classic flap. They've decreased the amount of bags that they make per year. So I was making phone calls to my local boutiques, and I was making phone calls as far as Vegas, because honestly, like, I was feeling a little crazy, and I was telling my friend Daisy, I was just like, girl, if they have it over there, like, I'm willing to make a day trip to Vegas just to go get it. And yes, it's pretty ridiculous. I didn't end up going to Vegas to getting it. I ended up going to South Coast Plaza to that boutique and getting it there, because the day that I called, I asked if they had it, and they said, yes, we have that exact one in stock. And I knew I had to go down there very quickly, because, you know, these pieces move very quickly. So I went down there and I got it that same day that I called, and I've been very, very happy with it ever since. And this is the one bag that I will like forever continue to flex. When I got it, it was $5,500, and if I remember correctly, there has been a recent price increase in it. So I think it might be at $57 now, because when I bought it, it was $55, and then plus tax, it came out to like, I think $59, close to $6,000. So it's a very expensive bag. And it's not one of those things that I just jumped the gun and bought it. Like, I was saving up for it, and if like, you know me personally in real life for a long time, you would have known that I have not been shutting up about this bag. Like, I wanted this bag for so freaking long. Like, I would not shut up about it. And when I finally got it, my mom was like, oh good, you know, thank God now you can shut up about it. And this is just like, it's my baby. Like, I love this bag so much. And yes, I mean, we all have our own triggers that we pull. Like, you know, some of us love shoes. Like, in my mom's case, she loves shoes and clothes. In my friend's case, like, she will buy all the makeup in the world. For me, it's bags. Like, I love my handbags so freaking much. It's ridiculous. And this is just it's my favorite go-to bag. I don't carry her as often as I want, because I'm either in school or I'm at work, and I don't think it's reasonable for me to carry this in school or at work. Like, it's something that I wear on like my leisurely day if my outfit allows me to wear it, which, I mean, like I said, this kind of goes with every outfit, so it's not really a problem. I don't want to go too much into authentication, because, like, I mean, like I said, like, I'm not a certified like professional or anything, but like, I mean, if you want to buy your bag second hand, there are definitely a lot of tips and tricks that you can use to make sure that your bag is authentic if you're going to buy it on eBay. Like if you're going to buy it pre-loved, like there's nothing wrong with buying a bag pre-loved. But you know, like there are a lot of good websites out there that are very like, you know, official. But there are like, but I know some people like to buy their things on eBay, and the thing is like eBay is a great place to buy and sell. However, there's also like, you know, it's kind of sketchy sometimes and it's hard to buy over the internet. So when it comes to bags and replicas, like the biggest thing is this, like the sensorial effect. Like when you hold a real Chanel bag versus a fake one, like you'll know immediately it's fake. Like the interior's not as good. The leather's not as good. As you can see, like this one, like it's it's not too shiny of a leather. But what I would look at is like the stitch count. So a higher stitch count ensures that the leather will lay this certain way for a really long time. A lower stitch count would make the bag look very quilted and very fluffy. Like each quilt will look really poofy. So, and I believe that each standard stitch count per square, it should be at least 10. And then as you can see, the quilting is all very cohesive and the quilting is very consistent. So like, you know, there's no skipping. Like this line goes all the way down to this line. There's no skipping. Like there's like, you know, there's no misalignment of the bag. And same thing when you turn the bag to this side. Like even though there's a pocket here, there is no misalignment on the quilting at all. And then on the inside of the bag, like, you know, it's just, there's so many details that you can use to authenticate. For example, this part right here, it's gonna say Chanel Paris. Chanel, when it faces you, it should always be on your left side, and the Paris should always be on your right side. Like if you're looking at this way, the Chanel should be on your left and the Paris should be on your right. And the flathead screw, and they use very specific flathead screws for it, so it should not be raised. The little buttons here, they say Chanel on it. Did they say Paris? Yeah, so it says Chanel Paris, and the Chanel is on your, if you're looking at it, it's going to correspond with the assignment, like, and it's going to correspond with the alignment of the Chanel and the Paris on this side. And then of course you have the double C's. So you have the double C's, and then right underneath it should say Chanel, and then specifically for the jumbos, it'll tell you exactly in what country it was made. So this bag just happened to be made in Italy. So, I mean, that's just a few tips and tricks for you guys to use. And that's why I didn't want to get too into detail with it, because, you know, just because a certain bag you see online ticks all the boxes doesn't mean that it's, you know, authentic, because it's very easy for replicators to get their hands on this information and then just, you know, recreate the bag, except with cheaper material, and it's gonna fall apart on you in like 2 seconds. So, I mean, those are just a couple things for you to look at. There's a lot of videos out on YouTube that will show you how to authenticate a bag and to see whether or not the bag is real or fake. But I mean, just right off the bat, if you feel that the stitch count is too low, that the CCs are wrong, or if the quilting is not as aligned as it should be, you know, if the buttons and the consistency and the hardware is not right, or if the writing is not right, then you know, don't buy it. And I'm not saying it's bad to buy pre-loved. I actually bought my Louis Vuitton Speedy pre-loved, and she's authentic and I love her. So that's like my little story behind my lovely, lovely handbag. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't like a review or anything. It was just me chatting about, like, you know, my handbag and, you know, what I love. But I hope you guys enjoyed staring at my bag anyway, because I stare at her daily. And if you have any more questions about, you know, handbags or whatever it is, feel free to let me know, and I would be more than happy to film more videos on handbags. Some of you guys had mentioned that you guys want me to do like a handbag collection video, which I can't. I don't have as many handbags as you guys, you know, imagine I do. I actually don't. You know, I don't have that many, but you know, I would be more than happy to do like a handbag collection or just a handbag video. I was thinking of doing like a handbag video kind of explaining different tiers of handbags, like why a Chanel, a Louis Vuitton, and an Hermes is price point the way they are, and then why that, and then why Michael Kors is priced the way they are, and then why Rebecca Minkoff and, you know, Kate Spade and Tory Burch, and why they're priced the way they are. because I know Rebecca Minkoff has a lot of silhouettes, and so does Michael Kors. They have a lot of silhouettes that are very reminiscent of either Louis Vuitton or, you know, Chanel, or like you'll see the silhouette and you're like, it looks so familiar to, you know, like the classic flap or the boy or whatever it is, you know. And a lot of people don't understand why these silhouettes are so reminiscent of these high-end luxury brand silhouettes, and I want to do a video on that, but you guys let me know if you guys want to see it, and I would be more than happy to film it. Like I've been wanting to film it for a while, but if you guys, you know, show me the demand, I will definitely supply. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, our little deviation from Chanel makeup. And if you like I said, if you have any questions or comments, you know, feel free to reach out to me. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye.